Hi everyone, it's Gina and I'm back with day 4 of the Lupus and Chronic Illness Awareness Challenge. If you'd like to take part, I'm going to post the link below. It is day 4, like I said, so it's never too late to start. So today's prompt for day 4 of the Lupus and Chronic Illness Awareness Challenge is: how did your friends and family react to your diagnosis? One of the huge lessons I learned from being chronically ill is just how isolating it can be. When I first got diagnosed, I spent a lot of time researching what exactly this illness could do to the body, researching different ways of helping to heal my body. But after a while, I realized what a toll it was not only taking on my body, but also taking on relationships around me. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this topic because I did discuss a little bit of it in the previous video as well as the one prior to that. So I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on this. But having lupus and all the other illnesses is very isolating. My nearest family member is about a 2.5 hour drive from here. Initially, when I was first diagnosed, I didn't really divulge the fact that I was diagnosed with lupus. And I kept it from a lot of people, actually. I told only those who were very close to me, like siblings and a few close family members. But for the most part, I kept it to myself until it really began to affect me, affect my ability to perform my job, that sort of thing. And at that point, I just made the decision that it was time to stop working and take a step back and really try to heal myself. So I ended up losing the job, and by losing the job, I also lost a lot of people that I was connected with. Some who I considered to be friends, but shortly after I lost the job, that connection quickly disappeared as well. And many people who I'd come to think of as being friends suddenly kind of vanished from my life. So I did end up losing that part of me, and that was a bit of a shock initially. However, there are a few who have kept in touch with me that were job related and have we've connected on Facebook, or we've kept in touch via phone, email, text message, that sort of thing. So our friendship, despite the fact that I'm no longer at the job site, our friendship has maintained um, the loss of the job, as well as the fact that I've developed this illness. So I'm very grateful for those friends who have stuck by me, even though I've kind of left the one thing that we had in common, which was the job. Family members, at least some family members, I think, had a hard time dealing with the fact that I had received this diagnosis. Um, and sometimes I think it was hard for them to deal with how I was responding to the fact that I had received this diagnosis. Some of them felt, from my interpretation, that maybe I wasn't praying enough. Maybe I'd lost my faith. Maybe I'd given up on God or on God's ability to heal me, because of some of the comments that were made were basically, maybe you need to pray a little harder. Maybe you're just not praying enough. Maybe you need to go to God a little bit more. It was just comments like that that were being made, and it was it's hard to tell your family members, I haven't lost my faith. I haven't given up on God. I am, yes, I have moments when I get angry with God and I talk to him like I would maybe talk to my father, and I say, sometimes I think that you really have a sense of humor by thinking that you can, give me all of this, and how am I going to deal with it? And I guess sometimes by me mentioning that, maybe people might have misinterpreted that I am losing my faith. But um, I'm, didn't it say in the Bible that whenever we are stressed, whenever we're in pain, whenever we need help, we are supposed to cry out to God, which is what I do. And um, God for you might be um, some other form, but I'm talking about my particular faith here. So just take it as that. And it's it was hard to sometimes hear that, because I have not by a long shot given up on my faith. I have not given up on my belief in God. I have not given up on my belief in the ultimate healer, because I do believe that my God is the ultimate healer, and that whenever he's ready, he can easily take this illness from me. It could be today, it could be this moment, it could be 5 years in the future. But in the meantime, I'm going to continue to hold on to my faith and hold on to hope that yes, he is going to heal me. But I think that some family members have voiced that concern, that maybe I'm just losing my faith. Maybe I need to pray a little harder. Now, I do have some family members who are my serious, serious prayer warriors, and I am so grateful for them. I know they're always praying for me. I get lots of messages, saying, checking up on me, asking how I'm doing, saying that they're praying for me. I get little notes, and I am so grateful for those family members who are just always there, checking up on me, praying for me. Now, initially, I said that lupus and chronic illness can be very isolating, and that is certainly true. But one of the things I've also learned from having this illness and having a chronic illness is that you develop friendships that you never would have developed if you hadn't developed this illness. When I found out that I had lupus, I joined several support groups online to kind of become acquainted with other people who also had the illness, because there is something about, you know, the whole idea of, yeah, me too. When you hear somebody else say, yes, I have lupus as well, and they know what you're going through, they know what you experience from day to day, but then that illness brings you together and you develop friendships simply because of you have that illness in common. And that has certainly happened to me. I've developed some very close relationships with people who have illness, but now illness is, even though illness is what brought us together, it's not the only thing that is cementing our friendship. We have become almost like sisters, and I'm sure she wouldn't mind if I mention her name, but Joyce has become such a strong friend. It's almost like we've known each other our entire lives, and we really have only connected in the past 2 or 3 years. The downside to having friends who do have a chronic illness is that from time to time you see posts about, this particular friend who has passed on. And I remember one week it was, I think, five, there were posts about five lupus warriors who had, as we like to say, gained their wings. And it was really tough, because you know that having a chronic illness such as lupus or any of the other chronic illnesses, there is a chance that it could take your life. So we were seeing that from time to time. So that's one of the downsides of developing friendships with people who do have the same illness that you have, is that you may end up losing those friendships. But plus side is, because you know just how short life can really be, those friendships are cemented and they become so strong within such a short period of time. And you actually live and have a closer friendship in a short period of time simply because of that illness. I fully believe that although this the illness has been really isolating in a sense. I've gained so many friendships that I never would have developed had I not been diagnosed and searched for other people who also had this illness. One of the other downsides to this is that because you're in so much pain on such a regular basis, having a social life is not necessarily impossible, but challenging. And I think some friends don't really understand sometimes when you have to cancel plans that you might have made 2 weeks ago simply because you might be having a flare that day, or you might be in so much pain that it's not possible for you to get out of bed, much less get out of the house. So that can be a challenge for friendships as well. Not just friendships, but also um, within the family. If you're not able to get up and maybe cook a meal or do your regular house cleaning that you normally do, that is a bit of a challenge. I mentioned in another video that I trained in the martial arts, and my youngest son and we attended a local karate school here up until just a couple of months ago, when it got really hard for me to be able to train. And I was actually trying to help out the school a little bit in, in certain areas, and it just got really hard because there were times when I came so close to passing out. There were times when my heart was beating so fast, it was just really exhausting. But what I found was that this, having gone there a few years now, it's a whole other family for me. And it's been really good because several of them have called and checked upon me. We're connected through Facebook. We have our phone numbers. We can call and check on each other. So that has been really beneficial for me, having that family. It's also been really beneficial for my youngest son because he also has that other family that checks up on him, that makes sure that he's okay. Because whether we like to believe it or not, our illness does affect the other members of the family, especially if they're younger ones. Now, before I end this video, I have to give a shout out to my younger sister Rhonda, because she has been my rock. She calls and checks up on me very frequently. I know that without her, I would feel even more isolated. She's driven across here several times to come and pick up my youngest son. We drive back to her place, which is a 2.5 hour drive, depending on the traffic on that particular day. So I am truly appreciative of having her around, and for everything that she's done, and for just maintaining communication, because sometimes I know that's one of my shortcomings is not necessarily communicating very well with a lot of my friends and family members, and that's part of the feeling of isolation, because sometimes I tend to want to keep things to myself rather than letting people know exactly what's going on. But I'm getting better at that. Thank you for watching. I want you to know that I'm truly appreciative of you being a part of this challenge that I'm doing, a part of my journey with chronic illness. If you have any questions, please feel free to post them in the comments below. I sure hope that this video series has been helpful so far. If you do want to take part, please remember that the link is below, that you can go ahead and you can take part. It is not too late. I'm doing this simply because it's Lupus Awareness Month, but certainly you can do this at any time of the year if you so desire. Again, thank you for being here. If you are not a subscriber, I would truly appreciate you clicking that subscribe button. If you like the video and it's been helpful, please also give me a thumbs up. I look forward to seeing you on the next video. And until then, stay well, stay strong, do not give up, and thank you again for being there.